One bloke who won't be there, it's been the heartbreak story of the Demons campaign. It is Nathan Jones, the former captain of the Demons, is our special guest on the couch. He joins us next.
The situation has been really tough, personally for myself and for the coaches because of what Nathan means to the Melbourne Footy Club.
To endure what he has endured at the football club, my first year we were getting, booed and off the field and, scarves thrown at us, memberships thrown at us. To him to experience that year after year, to continue to stay with the football club, continue to invest in the people at the football club, show players the level of professionalism, the mindset, the attitude needed. It's been such a pleasure to work with and thankful that I was able to experience Nathan.
16 years into the football club. He's been here for a massive shift in our culture and how we play and how we act off the field and on the field.
To see how much he's put in the singular goal of being a part of a successful team over the last 2-3 years in particular has been inspiring and incredible. If he's not a part of this group, I don't think we're here today.
I would have loved to have been a fairy tale for Nathan to be involved in this moment, but it's not to be, and footy's a cruel game.
This is a real tough one because my first day at the club, Jonesy picked me up and has looked after me like an older brother, and hopefully he can get a heap of joy out of watching us play. I know he really is invested in the group.
He's given the club so much. Over 16 years, he's seen a club go through some really tough times to a club now where he walks away leaving a legacy of something that he's really proud of.
I think he's going to leave a legacy on the football club. It's going to be everlasting.
Yes, indeed, a legacy with few peers. Been a very, very sad footy story, but it's been an unbelievably fantastic family story. And the father of the family joins us on the couch for the second time this year. Welcome to you, Jonesy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Back-to-back couches. This has been a hell of a year.
It has, absolutely, yeah, and it's been a hell of a week, to be honest.
How's Jerry and the two new babies?
Yeah, she's going good, got home only a few days ago after spending sort of 4 or 5 days in hospital, and yeah, probably one of the best moments I've had, really, watching my 2 other children meet our 2 latest children, and yeah, what a moment it was, and definitely a decision I'll never regret.
So Remy and Bobby meet Odie and Dove.
Yes, and no, it's been good. It's like another set of hands, to be honest, particularly with Bobby. It's almost having she's a 7-year-old nanny pretty much, and knows everything at the moment, and is helping Jerry. So
we saw you post the win over in the West. You were on the ground, you were going around, you're hugging everybody. Did you know then that you were going to get the next flight out on Saturday?
Not really. I had obviously everything was coming to a head. There was a sort of a crossroad that I was facing, obviously, with everything sort of impending. And I had a temporary flight booked for the Sunday, but when I woke up on Saturday morning, I could just tell there was something a little bit different in sort of how Jerry was feeling. Obviously, she'd been in hospital or in and out of hospital probably for the previous 2 weeks prior, just under observation and stuff. Obviously, as everything came to a head with the twins, and yeah, I decided to pull the trigger pretty quickly just because with what I was sensing, and obviously the result, I guess in my eyes, the percentage of me playing were quite slim, and thankfully I did. I ended up making it home in maybe by 5 or 6 hours, and by the time I got in bed after a delayed flight, I get a phone call at 5:30 in the morning, come in, so it was definitely meant to be.
Was there an actual decision to be made, though? Like, how long did you have to think about, sticking it out for another week? On the off chance. I mean, you've invested a lot, 300 games, you've been through a lot. Well, take us through that.
Well, I sort of went away to Perth knowing at some point, like I'd been really close to selection, possibly the next guy in, really, with the form I'd showed over maybe a month leading into that point. But at the same time, the club is dominating, we're winning games, everyone's in form, and where no one's getting injured. So that's the position I found myself in, but I was always going away with Jerry's blessing to Perth to see if I could create an opportunity if an injury came up or, form or whatever. And unfortunately, I got to that decision after that final, and in my own mind, it was pretty clear. We absolutely smacked the Cats and no injuries. Chances of me playing is basically down to one of my other mates falling over at training over that 2-week period, and I wasn't prepared to take that risk, and I wanted to get home and be a part of something pretty bloody special, obviously. And as I said, it's a decision I'll never regret.
Take us beyond the discussion with Simon Goodwin. How early was it after that preliminary final win? Was in the rooms? Did you wait until the next morning? Just give us an insight.
Oh, I celebrated like everyone else, mate. I think that's the thing I have been able to do is separate my own personal feelings, as an individual, as a player, as a competitor, and that of a passionate leader that's spent and given so much to the footy club. And to see it in that position, I got around the boys obviously with as much joy and exhilaration as everyone in that room. And I think it was not till the next day that I woke up in the morning and thought, I think I need to get on the front foot and just have this discussion. And as I said to you before, it was pretty clear to me of where that was going, and so I pulled the trigger on it.
Jonesy, congratulations on everything and the decision. Has there been anger? Have you had moments where there's been anger? Not necessarily at not being able to play, but at the fact that you've been through so much, and now when the payoff may be there on Saturday, you're not going to be a part of it. Have you had that emotion?
Yeah, I think there's been a range of emotions, Gaz. I'd be lying if I said there wasn't. Particularly, as I said before, being able to separate myself. But if I gave you an insight into how I feel as a player and as an individual and as a competitor, absolutely, there's disappointment. There's a whole range of emotions I'm going through that'll probably take some time to sort of work my way through. But as I said, on the flip side of that, there's this huge amount of joy and pride in where the club is at now and the opportunity that presents itself to my teammates and the footy club, and most importantly, I think, is our supporters who have been long-suffering and longing for this chance for such a long period of time. And I'm excited for them. I can't wait for that side of it. And I'll deal with the individual side of things in my own time. And I'll be celebrating, and I'll be there in spirit on the weekend and cheering from afar. There's no doubt about that.
It's a really gracious answer, Nathan, and I think an insight into the selfless player that all of your teammates were talking about in the intro that we watched. I mean, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, because I know when I got the tap on the shoulder at the end, and they said we don't think you can do it anymore. I was pissed off, and I probably still am. I still think I could play. And my team at that stage wasn't playing in a grand final, and I was pissed off. So I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes and wrap my head around the emotion that you're going through. Are you pissed off that it's happened like this?
Yeah, as I said, from a personal point of view, I don't think there's any doubting that. As I said, there's a range of emotions, whether it be anger, disappointment, frustration, pissed off, however you want to put it. I think in the end, though, I walk away from the game knowing personally I gave myself absolutely the best chance. I played some of the better footy that I've played in the last few years. I've been as fit as I have in a long period of time, but at the same time, that's coincided with our club reaching the absolute pinnacle, losing only 4 games for the season, and the fitness and health of our list is just almost unheard of. So, unfortunately, footy's a ruthless bloody game, and that's the position I find myself in. And it's there's no doubt I feel disappointed at that, but in the end, I couldn't control that. And for most of the year, my mentality was control everything I could, give as much as I could, commit as strongly as I could, and whatever happens, happens.
One final one. Did you take up the challenge yourself? Did you front Goody and say, hey, I'm ready? I mean, I've been at this joint for 16, 17 years.
Yeah, look, I had the chat with him. There's no doubt about that. But, I also understand from his perspective, you've got to put yourself in his shoes as well. And as I said, there's hard luck stories almost every single year, and I'm not the only one. I think there's the attachment and the emotion connected to it we saw earlier, just with my journey. But there's other guys that are on our list that are stiff not to be playing as well. Yeah. And rightfully so. They play good enough footy to be in the best team, but you got to understand, and I think everyone does, how ruthless the game is, and there's an element of luck, and you've got to just take the opportunity when it's there. And fortunately for the 23 guys that run out on the weekend coming, they have done that. And without them and without the commitment from the entire group and how we're bought into the team, for this year, you know, we may not be in this position, but that's what Goody and the coaching group has pushed around this selflessness and team. And you know, it's not just the 23, but the 44 guys on the list that have, you know, pushed our group to excel to the level it has this year.
Jonesy, just on the game itself, so the big dance this Saturday, I think we all agree that Melbourne's style is built for finals. We've loved the way they've gone about it. Has there been an evolution since that 2018 season when you did make the finals, or is there something that stands out this pre-season when you said, look, if we're going to be successful in the finals, we need to change an element of our game or elements of our game?
Yeah, I think I spoke about this when I caught up with you guys earlier in the year. I reckon it's just been a maturity thing for me. Like, I think guys have really realised now what it takes, you know, from a professional preparation point of view, and then just a general understanding of how we want to play. To Goody's and the coach's credit, off the back of a pretty strong review last year, you know, they really just simplified things for us. We didn't make anything more complicated than it had to be, and we really backed ourselves in with our strengths in sort of different aspects and different phases of the game. And from that, you know, momentum builds. You know, we get results earlier in the year and it starts to just snowball, and now we're at a level where we've got such belief in how we play through, you know, I guess the situations and positions we've found ourselves in the year that, you know, we've given ourselves the best chance.
What does Saturday look like for you, mate? Are you prepared for all scenarios? And like when the siren goes, are you turning the TV off no matter what?
I'm feeding all day, mate. He's got the bottle out.
We're changing nappies and
expressing.
I don't know if I'll be doing that, but yeah, I don't know. I'll crack a few beers, and obviously, COVID Victoria doesn't allow for you to do too much at the moment, but you know, I'll just spend the time with the family and, you know, keep in touch with my brothers and my old man and mum and stuff, and you know, just I guess take it as it comes. Really, I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest, other than sort of keeping in touch with the boys this week, making sure I can sort of help where I can as far as sort of offering any advice, and just letting it unfold. Really, I'm pretty confident about, you know, where we're at. You know, I think we had a similar lead up as far as preparation wise into that prelim, and I think they pretty much try to repeat that again. And you know, I have no doubt Burjo and the coaches will have them primed.
Well, it's been amazing.
Jonesy, those words, Jared, sorry, those words that we heard earlier were an interview I did with about 8 or 9 of the boys through the week, and it's rare I've heard a group of people and players speak with such respect and love and empathy for your situation, mate. It was humbling to watch it come out of their mouths unprompted. So if that's your legacy walking out of the game, you walk out with your head held high, which you know that, but it was fascinating to watch, and there's a lot of love for you there.
Thanks, guys.
And of course, you're going to be part of the #1 team on Saturday with a big broadcast here on Saturday on Fox Footy.
You're bringing the beers out.
We'll have a beer. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
It's a dry event, I've got to tell you, unfortunately. Jonesy, congratulations. It was a fantastic result. Congratulations to you and to Jerry. A brilliant career. And for your sake, I hope you're celebrating it nice, long and hard on Saturday. All the best.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, guys. And I appreciate all the support on the show. I've loved coming on here throughout my years, even through some of the bloody hard times. So thanks for having me. And there's still a spot in the lineup at Winky for you. Nathan Jones, who's turning pro surfer on the weekend.